Right, so you're welcome back from the desk of low. Now, the DOC told me something that I believe that's near and dear to my heart that can inspire others too. Timing is everything. Now, two of the gentlemen here, I've been trying to get on one since 2018. The other one early on this year, but I've been a fan of this gentleman since 2006. I'm very well versed around his production. And the other
Right.
gentleman, one half of an amazing duo, who the other half isn't here yet. But so we have in the building today, he just released one hell of a project. Now, this project's one of the best albums I heard in the last 5 years from West Coast hip hop. And I heard it took 2 years to make, which is understandable because when you listen to this album front to back, now kids, you gotta listen to albums front to back nowadays. You can't jump to the hottest single. When you listen to this album front to back, it kind of gives you like of America's Most Wanted, feeling because freedom of speech. It's not so free nowadays. You could say something and instantly get canceled like that just for saying what's on your mind. So I found it very special with this album that the production of this album and the message with this album too is very well needed in 2023 now because we just don't get honest music like this nowadays. Honest music nowadays is shooting up the street or stuff like that. This is very well honest music that's going on in the community as we see worldwide. So without further introductions, man, I got the one and only. This man right here, you might have known of his production, man, from his classic intro that made me say, who the hell is this producer? I found this gentleman on the Looking at Me from the classic album Doctor's Advocate. And he also executive produced LAX. He did the great DMX intro and outro. He worked with The Game, but he also has his own company titled The Furnace, man. Got his own jazz album too. Man, I got the one and only Ervin EP Poe. How you doing, sir?
Man, much love. Thanks for having me, bro. I'm good.
Man, you're a humble guy, man, for what you accomplished, man. Because man, you got one hell of a discography.
I thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, though.
Oh, of course, man. Timing is everything. Because I always say we got to give the producers the love. Because what album ever was a hit a cappella?
Yeah, it's called poetry.
Ah, I didn't even think about that, my man, right there.
Yeah, without the producer, you just got a poem.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A 16-bar poem.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so with the other gentleman that you see on the screen right here, man, he's a part of one of LA's finest groups. Sorry, LA finest duos that I heard in a long time. You might have seen them on No Jumper when he did the T-Rail interview with G Malone. But when I found these two gents, man, on this album, Cancel Deez, man, it made me really pay attention. I'm like, wow, man, the West still has that talent that that gets me excited at least to know what's next from these guys right here. They're featured all over this album right here. But I got one half of the one half of the duo LA Giants, Joey Westside.
What's up, man? What's cracking? Man,
Like,
happy to be here. Glad to be here. Thankful.
oh yes, sir. Your light's way better now, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so with this gentleman right here, man, we've been trying to get him since 2018 right here, man. We've seen the rise of this gentleman since, White Lightning, man. I wasn't there for the crack mixtape, but I was there for White Lightning, man. I
Yeah.
remember you were signing CDs. I used to have one of the flat tape covers right there with the actual G Malone, you know, signature right there. So with this gentleman right here, he has his ups and downs within the industry right here. But I think he just released his magnum opus. A lot of people like to credit him with White Lightning or the Beach Cruiser for his magnum opus. Original Beach Cruiser, y'all. But I was wondering right here, yo, this gentleman right here, man, he has a story in hip hop when he's very unapologetic right here, man. Because with this gentleman right here, I like to say, if you listen to America's Most Wanted and then you go to listen to Cancel Deez Nutz, freedom of speech is not free anymore. Any type of subject nowadays you can get canceled on here, but this gentleman's going against the grain. I didn't know it took him 2 years to make this incredible piece of work. Man, I got the one and only right here. Glasses Malone, formerly known as G Malone, for all the old fans out there.
Always glasses Malone. It just was easier to say G for people.
Man, how you do, Glasses?
I'm good, man. Just finally got on the car. Shit, getting ready, man. Just working, coming up with ideas, man.
I'm curious now too. When making this album EP, did it take some convincing, knowing that the amount of material and message that was going across? Like, because some of the topics are wild. I ain't gonna front, but did it take some convincing? It's like, I don't know if I want to attach my name to that.
No, man, I'm a realist, bro, in every sense of it. Like, G has a message, he has a direction, and a lot of it was his idea, and I was glad to be able to assist in furthering the freedom of speech. You know what I mean? Like this album is needed. It's often we hear one conversation, especially in society today, and nobody else is expressing it, or a lot of people are afraid to express what they really feel, and G wasn't. So just glad to be a part of it. When I agreed to do it, I didn't know what the subject was. I just know G is dope, and I met G, bro. I think it's 2007, 2008. I did a soundtrack, Bastards of the Party soundtrack to the documentary, and Bone introduced me to Glasses because he had him do a feature on it, and I loved the feature he did. And ever since then, I appreciated his work. And we always said, man, we're going to work together. And it just, like you said, at the beginning of this, timing is everything, and we're here now.
Was this around the time when G was with Big Face in the game? Because I remember that's how I found G Malone when he did White Lightning. And so was this like around this time, or is this when he was like talking to different labels for like the Beach Cruise album?
I think he was established by then.
Okay.
But I wasn't familiar with him at all until I heard the record. It's like, bro, who is this? And that record stood out to me. Based off the hook that he put on, he took a hook from a artist that not many people know, and the hook was Waiting on the World to Change. So you know what I mean, for him to take that, and I was a big fan of John Mayer, and I was like, wow, this dude has some depth, and it made me, you know what I mean, made me want to work more with this guy.
So as your relationship went on now too, like, did you ever produce a full project with him? Because I know he has a lot of mixtapes, but like, and then we'll get into how you got introduced to LA Giants. But did you ever produce like a full mixtape by him before?
Never. We did some work here and there. Like he would call me and ask me to play on certain records he was doing, and I just did it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you admire somebody's gift and you just want to invest in them. Not necessarily. We didn't do nothing for money. We never exchanged money. I needed a favor from him. He did a favor for me, and we worked that way. Where I added some live instruments to a couple of his other records, and we just built a bond that way. Project that I produced entirely. I produced that whole thing, and then Glasses. And you need to do your history on that project, because that's a slept on project too. Bastards of the Party soundtrack. G was on there. Game was on there. Dub C was on there. The Outlaws was on there. I mean, full of West Coast royalty, but that's where I originally met G at.
So I was talking to EP and Joey right here, man, about the album right here, and it's glad that you joined me at the right time. Because EP was just explaining like how y'all met, back from 2007, how it built on there. So when you started this project, you kind of said that EP kind of showed up in your life right at the right time now too. So was it just having fun with records? And when did you initially want to include LA Giants? Because as I told Joey, this is one of the best groups I heard from LA duos in a long time.
What's crazy is damn. So with EP, it was different. Me, like EP said, we started working in 2007. We always talked about doing a project, but at that time, I was just doing whatever I was doing. I'm with Birdman and Mac 10, and we just doing anything. After that, 2011, I started figuring out that I didn't know anything about music, hip hop, or nothing. So I just went through this really dope sabbatical, like a college course of hip hop, records, marketing. And around 2018, 19, I had kind of came out of college. It took me 8 years to figure this out. And the Giants, they had just released a song called Fly High, and produced by Day One. I met Joey when we were really young. Joey was still a kid. I was a grown-up, but I was starting to take rap serious. And so we kind of reconvened. We had talked to each other over the years, but we hadn't talked. Like I had so many people around me that I really wasn't, you know, if you wasn't in my circle of people, we wasn't talking as much. Yeah. So I was hitting them to tell them that Fly High was dope. And I was like, man, this shit is fire. Like, yo, y'all got to market this. And he was like, yeah, man, shit, we don't know what to fucking do. And I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'll fuck with y'all. Like, I help y'all market y'all shit. And at that time, I was working on what would become probably the second most important song of my career, which was Tupac Must Die. And I was explaining to them like, yo, if I know what I know, this song is going to be the biggest song in hip hop. And I asked Deuce Mac, right, which is Joey's brother and the other half of the LA Giants, like, yo, would you be in the video? And he was down. And from that point on, I think I always had a relationship with Joey, but I never had a relationship with Deuce. Deuce is a bit like standoffish. So as me and Deuce's relationship got closer, me and Joey's was already there. And that's how we started working. Tupac Must Die happens. Obviously, it's the biggest thing in hip hop, you know what I mean, for a long time. And I circle back and I'm talking to EP. And I was like, man, it's probably time we should start working on that project. And we start talking about it. So he starts sending me ideas. And I thought it would be more like soulful, like a Scarface project or like his project with Game, LAX. And we started working on music. We had a couple cool cuts. They were really cool songs. But man, it was Kanye should have never married that bitch. When we start working on that song and we kind of got it together, Joey heard it. He was like, yo, let me get on it. And I was like, yo, you got to be fun. And he had fun and we finished it. And I was like, yo, E, we got to work right here. You know what I mean? This is where me and you going to meet at, you know what I mean? Which is crazy because all the stuff I love from EP on Scarface albums, you know what I mean? It's like this mid-tempo stuff. And the stuff on LAX with Game album, it's a certain thing. It's more soulful. But our stuff is super fun and up-tempo and boogie. And it was like, but we met right there. And the Giants, you know, we met right there because like out of all the artists I've worked with over the years, me and those artists only connect at certain places. The Giants were the first guys that we pretty much connected at 5 points, not 1 or 2 points, but all 5 points. You know, Deuce had a low rider, so I low ride. Deuce so dope, I so dope. Joey got a fucked up attitude and he's like a real man. That's where I'm at. They both is like that. And we just met everywhere at the same time. So all the records became like interchangeable. You know what I mean? They can be in every conversation. And that was the first artist I've ever worked with that we could meet at all the conversations. I never had artists that I could work with that we could meet at all conversations of LA street life. And that's what you hear on the MC tip. And EP is just, again, we found a perfect place that EP had never did it with all the other artists. They might have had songs, but we was able to make a lot of songs that way. And that's the short of it all.
Yeah, because I was telling the guys earlier before you joined now, too, because I heard of you and EP before, but I've never heard of LA Giants before until I did my research on them. And I'm really glad that you featured them on this before because it takes me, I wasn't, you know, fully in tune with hip hop when the Chronic dropped. I was like 2. But when the Chronic dropped, you know, it had all these features from different artists you never heard of before. So when I listened to Cancel Deez Nutz, you know, it made me kind of get that feel of America's Most Wanted mixed in with the Chronic because the LA Giants really did shine. Like, who the hell are these guys on here? Yeah. At first, I thought it was just one person. Yeah. And I actually re-listened, and I'm like, oh no, this is a duo. This is a duo right here. So I'm really glad that you know, said, you know, we're gonna start you guys up right here, right there. So Joey, was this like initially like the first like full project that you were a part of, or do you and Deuce have like projects under the YGs? Because I know you guys went by that.
Yeah, we have projects under the YGs, the Young Giants, and they mostly mixtapes. They never was put out like professionally, you know, just on the streets and pushing that shit like that, you know, selling CDs and the mixtape grind, you know, Dat Piff and LimeWire and things of that nature. So we definitely got projects under that, but we put something out under the, we actually did put something out professionally called 2090s as well. We put that on stream. That's the only thing under Young Giants that's under streaming platforms everywhere, which is called 2090s. And go ahead, you was going to say something?
Oh, no, I know. I was gonna say because like, did you guys like? Is it under like the YGs or is it under Young
No, it's
Giants?
under Young Giants. YGs was
Okay.
just some kind of like how you got Glass Malone, G Malone.
Yeah.
YGs was just something we pushed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy. You know, it's like a
Oh.
nickname, but it was the Young Giants.
And
So,
I was over here looking up the YGs, man. I didn't even use the Z, man. I was like, yeah, I can't find nothing over
oh
here.
yeah. It's not gonna be nothing under YGs as far as with
Okay.
us. You know, and if it is, it's gonna be real rare. You might find some shit I don't even have.
Yeah, because that's why I was curious if you guys actually changed your guys' name to LA Giants because the whole artist YG, the YGs, but I never knew it was actually Young Giants. Okay, so
Yeah, we was pushing YGs before it was a YG. That Young Giants and YG was before a YG. We was, that was something we always when we was young. But yeah, we just end up changing it to the LA Giants because it just fit.
It actually was like, to me, they was like the mascots of Los Angeles street culture. Even when we was talking about it, and it's like, yo, like y'all represent everybody. You know what I mean? And I remember telling them like, yo, this is gonna be a big thing. Like, this is gonna be a big thing. You know what I mean? Y'all become the mascot for the city. Like, y'all will be the representation. It just was. It's dope. I remember that too. It's like the evolution of what Los Angeles. They needed the Los Angeles Giants. Well, like we need the Los Angeles Giants.
Yeah.
So I was curious then, Joey, did you and Deuce know of EPs to history before that you guys actually linked with them?
Actually, I have, man. I met EP, man, when I was younger as well, doing music. I met him with the homie D-Tay, and I was doing some music with D-Tay and my homie and my cousin Bugsy. That I did a lot of music with coming up.
That introduced me and Joey.
Yeah, he introduced. That's how I met Glasses through Bugsy. So I knew of EP back then, and I just remember D-Tay like, yeah, man, this nigga did this, did that, and all that, and whoop whoop. And then I just started doing my research, and I was like, man, this nigga, a real nigga. Like he owned, he produced some shit for Neo. I remember seeing the Blueprint 2 plaque, and he was a part of that. So I was just excited to know that I was like on the radar at this point of someone that's like owned, basically. When you coming up and you meet somebody that's already owned, you feel like, oh shit, then this is my opportunity to become, a part of that as well. So that's how I met EP first. And I don't even know if we met personally, more so than just knowing about him, and then D-Tay probably bringing me up about him, because I was doing a lot of music by myself with D-Tay. It wasn't really much with my brother. It was more by myself, you know what I'm saying? But I was always Young Giants. I just so happened to be doing music over there.
Yeah, then my sister, she runs Street Motivation magazine, Sharon. She kept telling me, I got this group that you gotta meet him. You gotta meet. She was on my bumper about him. And then I met them together at an event they had, and then it was just all love from then. And then I put two and two together, and then for them to resurface again under G, and I gotta say this, what a selfless act that G, put them on, like even before itself. Who does that? Right. On songs? Like they'll come on first, and he'll come. I ain't never experienced that. He'll come on in the middle, or they're sprinkled all over the project. And it was genius because me and G never talked about that. G was like, he just put them on, but it adds a whole nother dynamic, and that's what we supposed to do.
In hip hop, man, honestly, so many things went right because about this project that's just real hip hop. That's the one thing when I listen to it, and it's funny because me, E, and Joey, we probably talk 5-6 times a week, right? But I don't get a chance to really talk about what I'm happy about with the project, because I'm always pushing, trying to market, trying to figure out, we need to make sure we own this shit every day. So there's really I don't get a chance to come back and talk to them about what I really love. And so many things about this project specifically just represent hip hop. It's a movement. Like it is, you're right, it is like the Chronic. It is like a lot of those ideas where, it's just dope ass niggas around. And it's, you seeing, even when you listen to the Giants music as they start to upload it and bring it to people and freshen it up and deliver it, you're going to hear versions of them that's even better, and versions of me that's better than ever before, because it's a movement. You know what I mean? We all agreed on a lot of the ideas, and a lot of these records went back and forth between us all. Like it really was a bunch of brothers coming together, you know what I mean? And saying, okay, let's make something that everybody got to talk about.
See, I like how like you guys came together and made something that because I don't think you guys see it at the time, but I think in like the next 5 years, people are gonna look back at this album like, yo, they actually went to get against the grain because I remember there was a time where you can actually say these things in hip hop and not get canceled. This brought me back to that feeling of not giving a fuck. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say what I say, and if you ain't like it, then that's on you. You can cancel me if you want, but I'm saying it's the message within the music. Nowadays, people just want to make up music you can turn up in the club to now too. But with this music, yo, you can turn up into the club to it though, but it has a message behind that. Like I got a friend, yo, something for the bitches, yo. I love when you said like the bitch era is over. I was like, oh my god, all right, back to the real man era now too. But it's just the beat behind that now too is something you can vibe now too. So what making a record like that now too? Like, is it the frustration that you see with all the feminine men out there? Because I got a friend, I see it too out there, but I can't go out there and say it because I'll get canceled. So,
Mhm.
so was that like the record behind that? Like, did you? It's like, damn, I noticed like there's a lot of feminine men out there that like really need to get the message because a lot of people nowadays like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. Well, some of the things are not okay. Like, it's not okay.
I mean, shit. We just make fun of all these niggas. That's it. It ain't like we don't lose no sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck if they want to take penis, you know what I mean, and do their thing. I'm not mad at it. It's just I'm gonna make fun of you. Like we're having fun making fun of people.
That's what you said.
This ain't nothing but the
You guys are having fun making this out.
yeah, like this just the senior square, you know what I mean, the high school. And this our crew. We over here in this circle doing our thing, and we see all these people. We see those dudes over there. And those guys over there act like they get all the bras, but they act just like the bras. You know what I mean? So we making fun of them dudes. We might make fun of these dudes. It's we talking about people that screaming demon time and trying to act like they advocate for Satan. They get work on this album. If you in that circle, if you over there at that, in the lunchroom at that table with the little weirdos that's acting like they down with Satan, we on your head too. So we just that table in the lunchroom, you know what I mean, at a high school that we just don't give a fuck. And we having fun, enjoying every day of life and making fun of everybody else that ain't with what we on. That's it.
Yep, pretty much. It's like
it ain't nothing personal. It's just you niggas is suckers, and we gonna make 1,000 jokes about you, and we just gonna keep entertaining the world and having a ball doing it. You know what I mean? It's funny because we made Kanye should have never married that bitch. Mind you, EP, him and Kanye, he played on a lot of Kanye records. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like 4 or 5. So I'm like, yo, like when I finally finished the record and I started to figure out the marketing, how we would title it, I was like, yo, you cool with this? He like, man, that shit ain't serious. You know what I mean? That shit fun. Like if nigga can't laugh, that's it. It ain't nothing personal. It ain't like we love these niggas. These are some of our favorite niggas, but we still gonna make fun of you niggas wearing dresses. Niggas say you straight. Y'all be wearing dresses. Y'all be painting y'all nails. Like, we love Drake. Drake got some great songs, but that don't mean we ain't gonna make fun of him, nigga. We gonna make jokes about you. And if he take it personal, like, what you want to get down or something? Like, so what? You be all right, nigga. We gonna make 1,000 jokes.
You can't.
That's
do
LA culture.
Yeah, you gonna get these jokes, man.
We got 1,000 jokes. We gonna crack
niggas
jokes.
Gonna say shit about us, and if it's funny, we gonna laugh.
We gonna laugh.
You know me, like, so we love to crack jokes and bag on niggas and bag on females, and just you gonna get this work. You know what I'm saying? Like Loaded Luck said, man, you gonna get this work. I see some funny shit. We crack jokes. We be on the phone, man. We be cracking jokes all the time, man. And some of this is like, fuck it, we gotta put this shit on record. Like, niggas is funny, so fuck it. And I love laughing. Laughing is the greatest medicine ever. So
that's true.
Man,
that's true.
You say something, you do something crazy, man. I got a witty joke. So sometimes you be like, man, this shit, like G always say, like, man, this shit gonna sound fucked up more than than I wanted to. And it's like, man, but sometimes a good joke, you just can't, like, I gotta let this joke off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Before fire, you know what I mean?
For real.
So, like you said, like I may have to restart this though, but like so I'll just resend the link. But I was curious now too, because I heard in you guys' interviews this took 2 years to make, and there's different versions of songs out there. And like, why did it take 2 years to release this? Like, is it because you guys really wanted to take your time and like understood
Hell
like
no.
reduced
I
body.
had surgery on my fucking leg and I couldn't do shit for 7 months.
Oh, okay, well that explains a lot too. So
No, the music wasn't. The music probably would have been done in about 7 to 8 months. You know, so 3-4 months is just 3-4 months is just literally figuring out what is it gonna sound like. That's like research. So now when we start to work on more stuff, it probably won't take nearly as long because now me and EP see where we're gonna live at. You know, all of us, the Giants, we know where we're gonna live at when we working with EP, and EP is gonna be pretty much involved in everything we do at this point. So he's gonna pretty much be quarterbacking it. So it's like we know where we at now. So now we rocking from there. But it took 3-4 months to me just figuring out what it was gonna sound like. Like we just was making all kind of shit, and you know, you kind of figuring out where you. When it comes to records, you got to figure out where you and the producer, y'all got to figure out where y'all gonna live at. A lot of artists, to me, they hear what somebody else did and be like, I want to live right there. And it's like, that's easy, but you got to figure out where you and that producer live, where y'all starting at, where y'all meet at. And it took us 3-4 months to figure out where we was gonna meet at, like where the sound was gonna be. That the way the music feels, that tempo, where our normal rock would be. And we found it 3-4 months later.
Like, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So now once we had that, then it became just getting back into the groove of making an album. I had made an album at that point in probably 6 years.
That was like the last
one.
one.
Yeah, Glass House 2. I had released the reimagined version of Glass House 1, but I didn't have to make it again. I just plugged shit in. You know what I mean? And that took 90 days. But
when did you re-release the Beach Cruiser original? Like, because I just seen that pop up. I never knew you re-released the original one. Like,
I released the original version that never came out. The re-release was with my old management, Suburban Noise. They re-released the 10th anniversary, but I released the version that was supposed to come out in 2008. So I just kind of let it go for people to have. Like I'm really trying to transfer my whole catalog over to streaming sites, but I'm trying to be really smart. So like, you never heard Beach Cruiser. I didn't want to make a huge deal, so I just did a simple interview with Homegrown Radio because DJ Head was involved in that process. So that interview was for that little project. Glass House 1, right? I released a song with Snoop Dogg and Ice-T, the remix at 6 a.m. That was important. So then I brought that song to streaming sites. December, I'm releasing Fuck Glasses, a reimagined version of it that's better for streaming sites. So I got 2 videos, you know, for that project. One with Exhibit and Corrupt and another one. So I'm bringing my catalog over to streaming sites because when I first started, streaming sites were just coming to play.
YouTube trust me, trying to get your music back in the day. That shit was a fucking man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? YouTube started when me, J-Rock, and Nipsey Hussle released our first 3, projects, 2005, the same year YouTube started.
Yeah. That was like the crack tape, right? For you, or was that the White Lightning?
No, that's White Lightning. So the crack mixtape was my engineer, Guido. That was his project with all of us. So it was the first project I was featured on. My first project is White Lightning. The first time people heard me was on the crack mixtape.
Because so there's a lot of stories that I never really got the backstory now too. Because I've been in an interview, everybody knows how your history of game, but you also said you met Dre before you met the game. Did you just meet Dre on some street shit?
No, because Dre is not on no street shit. No. I know, right? No, Jacob fucking glasses, stupid ass. No, so what I'm saying is, my brother managed me probably for the first 8 years. My older brother managed me for the first 12 years. First 12 years of my career as far as making music, right? Probably to 2015, he managed me. My brother's wife and Dr. Dre's sister, Shamika, were best friends. So when I first started my career, within the first 3 or 4 years, maybe 3 years, he asked me, did I want to meet Dr. Dre? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Hold on one second. So this is about the 3rd year I'm rapping, right? I'm not a professional, but I'm rapping. He like, yo, you want to meet Dr. Dre? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. He said, okay, we're going to go to his mom's house for this New Year's party, 2003 going into 2004.
Oh, okay. So
and I'm like, okay, for sure. So we go to Calabasas. This is where Dre's old house was. He gave it to his mother. And I remember his mom could cook really well. Like the food was fucking fire. You know what I mean? It was fire. And I'm eating this shit. And this nigga walk up behind me and grab my shoulder. It's Dr. Dre. He's like, what's up? So he talking to Pooh. He know my older brother. He's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, all right, yeah, we'll politic after we eat and shit. I'm like, for sure. So I'm eating my food. Now, mind you, this is still raw street glasses. Every bit of a 7th Street Crip, Sherm dealing nigga. So he like, yeah, we finally go into the little kind of what would be like a living room, but they got a piano, like a big grand piano. It's like this really nice room. And we in there chilling. I'm sitting on the piano. He comes, sit next to me. He like, yeah, I'm just learning how to play the piano. This is in 2003 or 4. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga got all these smash hit records and don't know how to play the piano.
Yeah, lessons from Bert Maybe I can't remember the guy's last name. There was a legendary piano producer he was getting lessons from during that time.
Burt Bacharach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I just learned how to play the piano. So I remember that because I was like, man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I never thought about it like that. Long story short, so we chopping it up and, you know, we chopping. He asked me questions. We laugh and joke. Oh, yeah. I was like, hey, man, let me get a beat. Like, I want to rap on one of your beats. And he looking at me like, what the fuck? Now, mind you, this 2003, 4. This nigga got the biggest records in the world, 50 Cent. But I'm so street and ignorant that I'm like, yeah, I rap, you make beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get one of your beats to rap on. He probably was getting $1 million a fucking beat. But again, I'm so street and ignorant when it comes to music that I'm not even looking at that shit like that. I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he looked and laughed. He was like, this nigga's crazy. But he didn't say nothing. He still responded to me, and I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
He was like, look, you bring me a record, I'll give you a beat. I'm like, oh, bring me a record for sure. I don't even know what the fuck a record is. Like, he's asking me for a hit record.
Yeah, like a hit.
So I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about at that time. I'm like, all right, I got you. I was like, all right, we're going to get back up. He's like, for sure. I didn't ask for the nigga number. I ain't asked for his email. The nigga told me we was going to get back up. So I'm like, all right, we'll get back up, nigga. I'll see you around. Thinking about it now, how arrogant and crazy I had to be to even think I would see this nigga again.
Yeah.
So long story short,
you're young at the time. You're not thinking about that. You're young.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, nigga. You said we're gonna do it, so we'll do it. So fast forward, I'm not tripping off Dr. Dre telling me we gonna meet in 90 days. I'm like, oh no, he said we gonna meet later. So I'm like, damn, 90 days later, I'm working on the music as if I know I'm gonna meet him again. 90 days later, roughly, he calls me. He calls Pooh. He's like, hey, your brother, y'all come to my 4th of July party. Right? I'm having a 4th of July party in Malibu. So I'm like, cool. This is how crazy this journey has been. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to the 4th of July party. I got about 8 records done with my engineer, Guido, my producer and engineer, my original first guy. And I was like, okay, we got some joints. So we go to this Malibu house that Dr. Dre was renting at the time, which he owns now. He made sure that I know he owns it at this point, which is funny. Like, fucking Dre flexing on me, which is crazy. Like, so he owns it now, but we go to this house and it's dope because it's all these rich white people and cool people there, you know, brothers, people in the music industry, rich white people. And we chilling. And it's Dr. Dre, he's DJing a party himself. It's 2004. So he's DJing a party. This 2003. Take that back. It's 2003. He's DJing a party. And I'm like, cool, you know, whatever, chilling. I'm waiting to play the music. One thing I remember is a firework. He had a fireworks show. A ship, not a boat, a ship pulled a barge into the ocean. A barge is a big open, you know, ship that's like a tow truck, like a flatbed for, you know, like if you were towing something, it's behind the ship. And he pulls it into the ocean, probably about maybe a half of a mile, maybe a quarter of a mile away from the shore. Like he pulls it in. He's on a walkie-talkie. I swear to God, this shit is crazy. Now that I think, I'm like, this is amazing. He's on a walkie-talkie and they're coordinating with the ship. So he gets this little track ready on his mix and shit, and he starts to play it. And it's all his beats. And the fireworks, cuz, is popping to cuz music. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. I was like, man, that's tight. Thinking now that shit is insane. Like, what the fuck did I see? But I was so street and raw at that time. Like, I just really was a Sherm dealing gang member. that I really think back like, that is absolutely fucking crazy. But at that time, I was like, man, I wish this nigga hurry up and play this music.
Right.
It was an older white lady because she had to be, at that time, I'm 23, maybe 22, 23 or something. This older white lady is laying across the back of the couch. She got to be about 40. She wasn't horrible looking, but she was like 40, and I was a stud, 23. She flirted with me in my ear, Dre laughing. You know what I'm saying? Because they all drinking and shit. I'm sober. She drunk. She like, trying to get me to fuck with her. I'm looking at this old rich lady. Now again, I'm thinking like, God damn, what was you thinking? Fuck your way into opportunity. But I'm just like, man, this lady. So I'm like, man, I heard this nigga play this music, but I am having a good time. So right before it's getting late, he like, look, my wife is on me. You know what I mean? I could play the music in front of everybody now, or I could take it and play it later and call you and let you know. My brother was finna say, take it. I was like, yeah, play it now. That, like, sometimes I think about the nuts on me, man, the audacity, because that's what this album has, a lot of audacity. And I realize it's because I have entirely too much audacity. I don't know how I got this. Maybe it's my mom. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna play it now. It's a fucking party with execs and all kind of rich motherfuckers. I'm like, yeah, play my shit. I don't know fuck who this motherfucker is. This is 7th Street. So he starts to play the music. First song, 5 seconds, he skips it. Second song, 5, 6 seconds, he skips it. I'm like, what the fuck? How does nigga know the music? Now I get why. But at that time, I'm like, how do you know if something good in 5 seconds? Third song, about 10 seconds. He's like, skip. Everybody in the party looking. They see he's judging my music. Fourth song, he play it. It's a song I have on White Lightning called All Wrong. It's all wrong. He jamming to it for about 20 seconds. He's like, that's cool, but nah, that's not it. Skip. Fifth song, 5 seconds. Skip. We get to that 6th song, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to go make 8 more songs. This nigga just skipping. Yo, he gets to the 7th song, 5 seconds. Skip. He gets to the 8th, well, he gets to the 7th song on the CD. 6th song he skips, he gets to the 7th song. It's the song before the last song. And it's a song I have on White Lightning called Dinero, Money. Money, get you some money. Get you some, boom, boom, boom. He playing it, and the party is like, okay. And they stop, they listen, and I'm looking like, okay. And they jamming. What the fuck you think I'm rhyming for? From the start of my life. And he was like, yeah. And he just got into it, and this shit was breaking. I'm like, yeah, got these niggas. Yeah, this is how crazy I am. I think about how crazy I was then, and I'm like, damn, I'm not nowhere near as crazy as I was then, and I'm still crazy. So I'm like, he jamming this motherfucker, going crazy, the party, people dancing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, got you bitch ass niggas. This shit, my shit jam, nigga. He grabbed me, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Nigga, this shit hard. I fuck with this. He started over. The whole party had their hands up. He rocking the party with the song. And I'm like, yeah, nigga. Feel me? Like, what the fuck you talking about, nigga? He was like, I don't know what you're doing, nigga, but this is what you need to be doing for the rest of your life. Changed my life.
Sometimes it's all you need, though, because what
changed my life. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't get that, you know what I mean? But I think God knew I needed it because what I had just experienced was selling drugs, my friends dying, going to prison. My mom is about to go to prison the next year. Life is going into a crazy direction, and I needed something that strong because I don't know where I would have been at that point if I didn't have that. So that one day with him telling me, like, this is what you should be doing, it gave me another commitment. I still never got my beat. Nick still ain't never paid up, but I'm sure I get it. But that him telling me that, it's the same thing I told Snoop Dogg when we had our first meeting. I'm like, y'all don't realize y'all saying something is good or bad, what it could do for somebody.
That's
just saying it, even if you don't do shit else, just saying, hey, this is dope. That's why if I see somebody with some dope shit, it's a girl right now. There are 2 specific underground songs in LA. Soak City by this kid named 310 Baby. And it's another kid, Famous Uno. He got a song called I Want That One. And these songs are huge, like in LA on our underground scene for the young motherfuckers. It's a girl that made a dance to him. I hit her and told her, hey, you the GOAT. Now, she might don't even know who the fuck I am. She probably every bit of 24. She got glasses. She might tell her dad, like, that's that nigga. But even when I hit Famous Uno, I was like, yo, your song is fire. You could just tell, like, when they get something. When Zoe Sama came out, I DM'd him, hey, nigga, your song is fire. I don't know what that shit mean, but it don't cost you nothing to show love. And Dre showing me love that day pretty much changed my fucking life and made me commit to something that still been my journey at this point for 20 fucking years. So it don't cost you nothing to show love, because it don't cost a dime. But nigga, you could change another nigga's life who might need their life to be changed.
Mm-hmm. Because with your production on this album EP, I noticed that you don't loop your stuff. As long as you play it straight through, like, you know how most producers, like, they'll loop it. It's like, okay, after the hook, you're gonna loop it again. This is very straightforward now, too. Is this the first time that you've done this on a project before?
Let's I want ask that when Glasses come on, because he like to elaborate on that, but I'd love to tell you. Huh?
All right, can everyone hear me? And I'll ask it again, EP.
Yeah.
All right, so Glasses, when I asked EP now, too, with this project now, too, you know, most producers, they'll loop their stuff, you know, right after the hook. But I noticed with EP's production on this, yo, it's played, yo, straight through. And, like, you really get that nowadays.
Man, that's one of the things that, man, that's what EP was saying. It's one of the things I brag about, right? Having EP as a producer, right? Like, other producers are really dope with drums, you know what I mean? They get busy. They gonna drum your shit to death. Your shit gonna knock the goddamn speaker out. EP is a real musician. So, like, I watch him make some of these ideas, like, whether I'm with him or whether I'm watching him, he's playing the melody line straight through. So there is no loop and cut.
Yeah.
The melody line is play. He's like, yeah, real fast. A 3.5 minute song. Yeah, play it straight through. Like, and to me, the best thing that's going to grow about this album, that's going to be the reason it's growing, is because every time you hear it, you're going to feel something new because he's playing it. And even a lot of the stuff done in the post-production, he'll play it straight through. Like, he'll just play it. Like, so if I'm organizing something in a session that we're working on, like, I don't chop and cut nothing. Like, even if I'm not going to use this part, I don't copy it from one hook to the next. I just eliminate the verse part because this part of the hook is going to feel different than this part, even though it's the same melody. And that to me, this project is really long-term. Like, that's why I'm looking at it in 90 days. I'm giving more, I'm spending more, I'm totally committed to it more than I've ever been committed to any project I've ever been a part of, because I understand the opportunity of the growth. You know what I mean? It's going to grow. Every time people hear it, somebody hit me right now. It's like, yo, this album is incredible. Like, I can't believe you made it right now at your career. And it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I get it, but it's like, it's dope. Like, it's dope. This is dope.
Okay, so you know how this album, it has EP produced and then Joey Deuce all over it. Would you consider this like a full circle moment in your career? Because
100%. Yeah. Even further, it's a lot of things going on with White Lightning 2, where me and my original producer is working on it. I got EP. You know, we're talking about figuring out a way to capture it another way. It's like all the people that pretty much I should have probably been working with. Joey, I met him before I put out my first CD. EP is from my town. He's from the same town. Feel me? Like, all of this is kind of like God gave me everything that I needed at first, even if I didn't know it. So then he circled it back. He's like, here it is again, stupid nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well,
here it is again, you stupid
like
nigga.
That, but yeah, sometimes it just
for real. Like,
yeah.
He circled God, was like, here it is again, stupid nigga. You gonna fuck with it now? You can just go skip it again. You waiting on another boat. You're gonna drown waiting on another boat. Waiting on a boat. You want me to come? I keep sending boats, and you just come out. You waiting on me. Here's the boat. Boy, here's the boat.
Real talk. It's a real story like that too. Real, yeah, man. God don't lie, man.
Oh, God does not. Well, even like with like, you know, they say, because they said like, you know, how you make Glasses before now too. Because I remember any person that like the West Coast, I remember when Game would work someone, if he worked with G Malone, I'd be like, okay, now if G Malone works someone, then that's how I'll get put on. Because I remember that's how he put me on to like your boy, or even like Clyde Curry, because Glasses was working with him. So when I hear work with the LA Giants now too, one of the questions I had ready for you guys now too, did you guys talk to EP about like new EP doing the next LA Giants album? Because man, I ain't gonna front, man. I don't think I can listen
Hell
to
yeah.
EP production anymore.
Man, you goddamn right.
Yeah,
Yep.
Goddamn Skippy.
yeah,
Yep.
we locked in for life, man. That's what I tell them. Y'all stuck with me. So
Honestly, we just really God put something right in your back pocket and you just be looking right over it. Not even, and I don't think it was I ever looked over EP or Joey like them, they wasn't talented or the Giants. Like it was just like, okay, we do work. Like I did songs with Joey and Deuce before, one or two before. I did music with EP, but you never look at it like, okay, how many places? Me, EP was crazy is because EP, where we connect that on so many places. Like EP allows me to do things to music that I know for sure he looked at it crazy, but he like, I trust this nigga. You know what I mean? I'm going to give him a chance. And you know what I mean? I ask him to do things. I'm sure no other artist is like, yo, do this. I mean, not even a Scarface or, you know, some of these guys or Game, they're not asking him. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, G, let's knock that shit out. And it's like, thank God, you know, I got somebody who care about the music. And then I feel like I owe him the full dedication, you know what I mean, on making sure I market it. And if it take every last cent I got to get it done, you know what I mean, he's committed to me, like where it's like, all right, I trust you, nigga. I know you're not going to do me wrong. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got you. Just, I'm going to need to be able to live, but I'm finna go face first into this shit. You know what I mean? So, but I know we got something, and it's dope to see the public who heard it at this point be like, yo, this is something. Like, I don't know all this other shit going on, but this is something. So, again, man, God give you what you need. It's up to you to, you know what I mean, to see it and be like, okay, let's see what it is.
Yeah.
It was also the perfect intersection too, because Gino a couple projects that I worked on before that I've been trying to do a project like this, bro, for probably
yeah,
8, even 9 years. Where I would get done with a project on a notable artist, because I feel like to get the notoriety, especially here at home, like you got to do the whole project. And I take it serious. I call them musicians. We do mixes, like he said. We do post production, and then several artists. I'm not even gonna name them, but
fuck that. Bad luck. That's a fucking integral part. And I don't. What one thing for sure that made me double down on doing a project with EP is fucking listening to the shit he did with Bad Luck. Him and Bad Luck did an album, and I came and rapped on one of the fucking songs. And I was listening, they was playing, I was like, this shit is crazy. Damn. And Bad Luck was going through something else in life to where he's like not rapping. He changed his name, then he just checked all the way out from the shit. So it's like, it's just a bunch of music sitting here that's fucking terrific. And I was thinking about, like, I even pilfer shit from that album. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Link is talking off. Let me get that. Feel me? If Luck is my guy. We came up around the same time. If they don't want it, I'm gonna, let me get that. I'll take that. You know what I mean? I'm committed. So that's a great point. EP got love on LAX, but Game was already Game. Yeah. He got love with Scarface, but Face is already Face. Glasses is still at this place to where I'm trying, like I'm at the tippy top of the underground, right at the bottom of the pavement. I'm passed up all the dirt and I'm out. And all I got to do is stay focused and keep putting effort, and I'm just going to pop through, and it'll be dope if it's a wash nigga that make me pop all the way through. And I'm committed to making it happen. That's why if you look at all the videos, EP isn't like, we're going to do this the way hip hop should be done. This is the guy. I want people to be like, who is this nigga in the video all the time playing the fucking piano? That's what this shit is about. You know what I mean? Bringing the culture forward, and all of us are the culture.
So this is a question for EP now too, because and it kind of relates to Glasses and Joey now too. Did you take any of the lessons during the 5 years that you were spent on Deeply Rooted by Scarface into Glasses like session? Because this took 2 years to make. So, you know, spending 5 years on the projects, you know, is crazy. But, you know, you could hear the significance of Deeply Rooted by Scarface in the long run. Because besides the fix and a diary, you know, Deeply Rooted was the perfect saying, like, I think I'm done with rap. So did you use any of those techniques for that album, for Glasses' album? Because I know you guys both look up to Scarface. I'm not too sure about you, Joey, but I'm pretty sure you look up to Scarface.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking face.
Yeah, I absolutely did, bro. I and everything I do, it doesn't matter that it was Scarface, but any project that I work on and I learn something from, because music is ever changing and we're evolving. So definitely coming off the heels of that deeply rooted project, we just went another direction because like Faces from the South, but I wanted to particularly make something dope for the West to where it wasn't your traditional West Coast records, but you had to pay attention to the time. So I made sure that the drums was current and they represented West Coast. But then again, you can never fight music. You can't fight a piano and drums and piano, guitar, and strings. You can't. Like, they're infectious, and that also extends the shelf life of the record because you'll never get tired of hearing a piano, organ, drum, live stuff. That's why you hear a Anita Baker record right now. You're never going to get tired of hearing it because it's mixed with real instruments. And a lot of producers don't know that.
That's true. Them synths be time stamped. They be at a certain time and it dates music, but nothing is dateable. Nothing is dated about piano. A piano is forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's a great point. I always say that too. That's dope.
So even like with some of the titles on this album now too, I wanted to go over with now too, and like the obviously what's in the songs now too, but the My Nike Cortex is this like some type of West Coast shoe? Like I'm not too sure that has a significance. Like you know how like the all black Air Forces, we all know that. But do these Nike Cortexes have like a significance to the West Coast that like people like me may not be aware of? Because like we don't all black, but like can you explain that for the new me too? Can you explain that for me and the listeners?
Man, culturally, tell them, Joe. Shit, tell them.
Man, Nike Cortez is a rep. Like, and when you see a pair of Nike Cortez, it symbolizes Los Angeles. You know what I mean? It's a shoe that we always loved and we took a liking to. Like it culturally, the dope dealers back in the day was rocking them, and the gang bangers and all that. Because gang banging culturally kind of like. It became so big to the rest of the world, to what they did and what they rocked pretty much became the outfit for Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So that's why everybody sometimes when you see somebody, Dickie Sue, Chuck Taylors, some of that nature.
501s and Cortez.
Yeah, like 501s, Creased, you know what I mean? Like it just out here, people are probably people in LA even look at them like he must be like one of them niggas.
That shit.
Yeah,
not so much anymore though. Not so much anymore. You're right. It kind of has went mainstream LA. Like you'll see white folks wearing Chucks.
But you got people from Los Angeles now that's like against it. It's kind of weird because it's crazy. But when you see it, that's Los Angeles. Like that's LA.
When you swag it a different way, it says something too. It's like, yeah, he one of them. Like, yeah. Look out.
But the Nike Cortez is like synonymous with the Chuck Taylor. Like it's either that one or that one. You know what I'm saying? When you see that, you see LA. And we wanted to make sure that we really wear the shit though too. Like it's a shoe that we really like. So it's not so much of a costume, but we understand how important it is to still represent the culture. It just so happened that we truly like it and love it. So yeah, that shoe is Los Angeles. Shout out to the essays because they never gave that shit up.
So like even like with like the song like the LOCS on it now too. Like this is like BIG's on the hook now too, but it's like the sample on it now too. But this is the question I want to know about that song. Did this originally like not have BIG on it? Like because I know there's different versions to these songs. Like did this version feature LA Giants before, like the BIG hook?
No, we was never. I ain't gonna lie, man. I told Glasses this before, man, and I've been telling EP like this nigga Glasses, like he studied music to the point to where I said it's impossible for him to not make a good song. Like that's how it's impossible to make a whack song. Like he can make something that you may not like, but he can't make a whack song. That's how deeply he done studied this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the LOCS is one of them records that I always told him from the gate, like, nigga, this shit right here is out of here. Like I would bet my last dollar that this is a hit Grammy. This is a hit record. And it didn't have Biggie on it at first, which is crazy because he studied music so much to where he gonna keep creating and trying to make the record the best it can be until the end of it. Like, he be like, no, it's missing this, it's missing that. He's want to hear things that I haven't done the study and he studied to where I hear certain things. I just know music well enough to know, like, nigga, this is that shit. Like, like one of them, like, I wish I was on this record. Like, that's how good this record is.
Yeah, and when I made the beat, bro, I was like, man, I hope G liked this beat, because I made the beat because I was thinking, like, man, it's time for this record to resurface again. Because, like, you got to think of, like, that was what, 20-something years ago when I came out with Big. It's kids born today that ain't even hip to that record. So, and I sped the tempo up so it fits in with the mix shows and the stuff that the culture is doing right now. So when I sent it to G, I'm like, okay, this one of them. I hope he do, because I knew it was gonna be something. And when he did, it was crazy. And then we went through several hooks, and several people tried to make the right hook, and we don't settle.
That's the thing.
Nah, it don't settle, man. That motherfucking record making me smile, man, because I really feel like that motherfucker about to take Glasses like to where another level. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I get hot. Like, I be kidding Glasses sometimes. I be like, hey, man, you think niggas is hating? And he be like, Joey, don't worry about shit like that. Like, don't worry. Because I just know, man, how good this shit is. You feel me? And I'm just so happy and grateful to be a part of it. But yeah, that record, he went through several hooks and he kept figuring it out, and he fucking figured it out, man.
You know what? I'll say this.
They figured it out.
Yeah. And you know what? E has a good point. And even Joey has a good point. We don't settle. We didn't settle at all on this record. We didn't settle. Like, it had to be good enough. Mm-hmm. Like, if it just, he right, that hook got 5 different hooks. And shout out to MC Ren for Quiet on the Set. Shout out to obviously Chubb Rock, Treat 'Em Right. Because those were 2 of my inspirations to, like, how to start and finish the record.
Oh, okay, Chubb Rock. Wow, okay. I never.
Yeah, it's funny because
it's not different.
We was trying to mix it. I was trying to get Howie T to mix the song, but Howie T is like overseas somewhere. He out of the country. But like, I hit Chubb Rock, and you know, it's funny because I usually don't put my private shit out, but with people. But I hit Chubb Rock, and Chubb Rock was just telling me how amazing it was, and that shit like meant the world for like this super dope New York legend that I loved when I was a little kid to say like, hey, that shit is fire. But you know, him not knowing like yo, you drove the car in this. You know what I mean? Like MC Ren, Quiet on the Set started it, but Chubb Rock, Treat 'Em Right is how I closed it. So it's dope. And EP is right. Like, we don't settle at this point. None of us is settling. We're at a place now as adults that it's like, you know, normally kids drive the car in hip hop, young adults, 20, 19, 20, 21, because they have a different relentlessness about approaching records and the business. The reason why we're destined to take over this space for a good second is we know how to close the show. It's one thing to pitch 8 innings. It's another thing to close the 9th and make sure you win the fucking game. And that's what we're doing for the West. Everybody else is pitching 7, 8 innings, 6 innings. Yeah, we finna come in and close and get the win.
With like that, like some of the titles and the song structures on here, like, yo, one of the most genius songs on this project. All of them are genius, but this one really stood out. The Tale of Whitney's Plug. Just the title, like, the title itself speaks for itself now too. I
can't wait to hear this answer because I'm in school on this one. Like, I get the concept, but I didn't know in the beginning, like, what is G on? It's genius, but like, let me hear the story behind this one. So I'm in class. Let's go.
So same thing, right? Like, when you look at Spotify, the only thing you can see is the titles.
Yeah.
Right. And we're in a weird place now to where culture is so like. And I know this sounds crazy. I go through a lot of stuff to come up with this shit. It's math to me. It's like an equation. But we're at a time now where all the culture from the West has been overexposed. It's been like, you've seen it all. Like, you've been seeing it for 40 years since Colors, the film. You know what I mean? So when I'm telling you a story, I'm going to tell it from a much deeper perspective than all of my predecessors and even all of my peers and anybody younger than me, because I've been deeper in it than 99% of the people that's ever rapped. I've been deeper into the actual culture itself, selling drugs. I actually had a bird or two. Like selling Sherm, I actually sold gallons upon gallons of PCP, Sherm. You know what I mean? So I've lived it at the high. I've been in the car shooting at people. I've been shot at. I've been to jail. I've been on Crenshaw, street race. I've done it all. Feel me? So as I'm actually looking at titles, I'm like, yo, how do I get people to understand? Like, I'm going to tell a much deeper story about selling drugs. You know what I mean? But I need people to care about the drug dealer's story. I need people to care about the drug dealer's story. Who is a huge person that actually, paid the consequence of being a drug user. Let me tell the story of the person who sold drugs, because I know the story. That's how the title came about. The long titles, again, goes to Panic at the Disco. I remember Panic at the Disco at high school. So a lot of the long titles were inspired by Panic at the Disco.
Now that's a band I've never heard, let alone a band that I never thought that you would say out of all people. Wow. Panic at the Disco. Jesus. Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day. Cause I got a friend, maybe just be the area where I came in, but all like the emo, like people used to like cut themselves, they would listen to that. So when I hear a rapper I respect, like actually say a pound, like, okay, I may have to check this out. I do like jazz. I do like, hip. It just something I just can't get into. So Panic at the Disco. Wow. Y'all heard that right here.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because like I said, as you start to study music, man, I might have been locked on Pink Floyd for 6 months. Over this 8, 9, now it's been roughly 12 years because I'm still studying every day. I'm still studying records every day. And I'm looking at how to open and close records. I'm listening to records. And that's how you learn. You watch it, you observe it, and you break it down. And I'll send some stuff to EP, or I send stuff to Battle Cat. Like, what is this? And so, so many things go into, that's what make hip hop special, because you take other shit and you do it the way we do it. So shout out to Panic at the Disco, because I was stuck on their first 3 albums for a good, 90 days, just jamming this shit all day, every day. Because I just fell in love with it. I've been stuck on Dark Side of the Moon before. I've been stuck on Fleetwood Mac before. I've been stuck on so many different bands. Eagles. I've been playing in my car right now. I've been playing the Eagles' greatest hits and Michael McDonald's greatest hits probably for about a month, back and forth.
Because you know the significance of music outside of hip hop. Hip hop is my all-time favorite genre, but you want to hear something else. I'm pretty sure this goes for everybody. Everybody wants to hear something else other than hip hop nowadays. Like maybe someday you just want to hear like Fleetwood Mac, or maybe just like, I don't know about Madonna, but Madonna got some jams I got from.
Hell yeah, McDonald. Hell yeah, Holidays and shit. Holidays is Madonna got some cuts, but you know what it is? Hip hop is everything else. Like when you listening to 2001 by Dr. Dre and you hear next episode, that's classical music. It's just done the way we would do classical music, people that come up from street urban areas, environments. So you just start realizing you like other shit. Like I'm listening to Sad Cafe 1 million times. Like, man, Sad Cafe is crazy. Now I have to start readjusting my list. Hotel California is a top 3 greatest written songs for me. You know what I mean? You just start, other shit is good. You know what I'm saying? And it's music. So it's not like I want to hear something outside of hip hop. You just start hearing shit, studying to do hip hop, and you start finding shit you fuck with. All in all, I'll be like, what the fuck?
It gives you something to pull from. That gives us an advantage, because I listen to everything, and I started from junior high school by being exposed to different genres, because from where I went to school from. But that's why I'm able to just pull different melodies and lines out of stuff that was already embedded in me, and I had no idea. Subliminally, it would just come out in the music, because that's what it would call for.
See, I think like you guys' music knowledge now, and the way that this album is gonna age nowadays now too, this has all the elements to go platinum. Like I said this like from the first time I played this album through, I'm like, this literally has all the albums to go. If this album was released in 2005, 2006, this would be a multi-platinum album because just the contents of it now too. Plus, we don't get albums that are fully complete bodies of work. Like you guys have interludes and skits. Yeah, there may be like one or two songs that would skip on here. Like mine is Jimmy Dandy, but everything else is fire on here. And just with the cohesiveness of this project now too, like, do you guys plan doing a deluxe edition, or do you guys want to let it breathe on how it is?
I think we just gonna let it breathe. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but we not conceding going platinum. We not conceding going platinum.
But it does.
No. I'm saying we're not conceding that. Like we intend to do that. You know what I mean? But we got a song or two for sure extra, but I don't know if we was gonna add them. Like I don't know how that's gonna look.
Before you finish that now too, would you ever consider let an EP do a sequel to Tupac Must Die, but on the perspective of Keefy D?
The funny part is in the video of Tupac Must Die, I am Keefy D.
Ah.
You watching the video, your baby line.
Oh, okay. See, okay.
So when you look at the video again, you're looking through your baby line. I put you the person that's getting beat up and stomped out. You're the person.
But like that's what I mean. Like, would you like wrap in the perspective of Keefy D though?
Nah, man. Hell nah, man. I would never wish prison on no man. And Keefy D, even when I first presented the idea to him and him allowing me to do it, you know what I mean, was important to me. So, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do that. That shit's serious. You know what I mean? Like, Tupac dying was already tragic enough, and I have to tell the story to explain gangbanging was really strenuous. You know what I mean? But now to try to tell a story of how a man can end up with, life in prison is just crazy. It's not somewhere I would want to visit because I think his story is out there at that. I think he told his story. Like it's important for me to tell the street story, or let's say Orlando Anderson's story, by that standard, because he can't speak for himself. And I know what it's like to be somebody who, people hate and feel like they just did something because you don't understand the context of what's going on or why reputation is everything. So what I do from a hip hop perspective is my job is to voice the West Coast streets, LA street culture. So I always tell the position of our position. It don't matter whatever's going on. And Keefy D told his own story, in books and in interviews. So it's like, I just hope the best for him. I hope he gets a really good lawyer, and they find justice and peace some other kind of way, because again, we do have these situations in the streets, and I feel bad for Tupac passing away, but I also would feel bad for this man getting life, because we all know the shit we sign up for. I get the general public don't know, but we all know the shit we sign up for when we do shit to each other. We know what's right and wrong.
With this album being released to the public now too, and the reception it's getting now too, can we expect like more like crazy Instagram? I love the promo that you guys are doing for this rollout, like with the paid on ads. We used to call them paid programs back when in Canada now too. With the put the 1-800 number now too. So during your time off now too, did you take time to study social media? It's like, damn, I don't need like a PR. I could just do this all myself on social media.
Yeah, that was a part of marketing. You can't really. So yes, you study social media, but it's still just an extension of marketing. It's just an extension of marketing.
So even with like that now too, with EP now too, I know like that you're a man of many talents now too, and hip hop has always been like your number one outlet, it seemed like. But did you like use like any of your jazz influence for this album?
All the riffs that you hear in post production, especially on Mr. California, is heavily
one of my favorites.
Used. Definitely on Sundays in LA, you hear a lot of jazz. I improvise a lot on that record, but it's all sprinkled all over. It's full of jazz, but tastefully, because my whole job is to leave room for the artist and just fill the spot. I'm scoring what he's talking about. So if it calls for it, then I'm gonna add a little bit. If it doesn't, I'm gonna take it away.
No, just for like a fan question now too, EP now too. Give a long backstory if you don't want to now too, but
All good.
this one of my favorite intros now too was "Looking at You" by The Game. Like, how did that intro come about? Because yo, the piano, the key, oh man, I get chills every time I hear that song, man. It's one of those intro spooky vibes.
The intro happened. I made that intro hoping that Game would like it for his album. When I met Game through a Kanye West session. I was doing keys for Kanye for about 3 years, and Game happened to be one of the artists that walked through the door, and we did a session with him, or a couple sessions. I actually played the violins on Dream, so that's when I originally met Game, and I got his contact, and then he invited me to the studio. So I just grabbed a beat pack of maybe 15 songs, hoping he would like one of the songs. I never intended for it to be the intro or what. I just wanted a placement. I just wanted to start getting more immersed into the production side as opposed to just playing keys for different artists. And he picked it right off the rip, and it made the album, and it was the intro.
I remember opening that booklet and seeing the production credits. I'm from that era where you read the production credits. And
Absolutely.
I remember seeing Ervin EP Pope. I'm like, okay, let me check this guy out. I remember I had like my friend, he was a huge Rap-A-Lot fan. Like, yeah, like I swear he had every single Rap-A-Lot like album produced.
Yeah.
Album named Doris. This artist named Dorisel. And
yep. That was my first rap placement ever.
See, one thing I like about your story now too is I like when artists and producers remember their very, very first placement. Doesn't matter how big or small it is, because you always remember that first person who gave you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So one of my fan questions was like, do you still talk to Doris every now and then?
I haven't talked. You know what? We kept in touch probably 10 years after that project came out up until then, but I haven't talked to him in a while.
Okay. I was just curious about that now too, because everyone remembers their first shot at what they wanted to.
Yeah, so my first
it was Ben Harper. I know Ben Harper was your first gig though.
I was going to say that. Yeah, Ben Harper. That was my introduction to the game. That's what got my appetite and into. Yeah.
So now, Joey and this guy. I guess this kind of goes for Glasses and Joey. This question now too. When Glasses brought the LA Giants on the No Jumper for the T-Rail interview, I remember hearing this now too. Yo, Joey, are y'all really DJ Quick's nephews, or is that just like an inside joke you guys had on No Jumper?
No, it's not an inside joke. Yeah, that's Unc, man. We've been knowing, man. Quick been knowing us since before we knew us. You know, we shared this. We used to share rooms. And he shared a room with us as a kid. He lived in our house with our mom and our pop. So that's Unc.
So did Quick ever reach out to you guys once he heard I wonder if he heard Cancel Deez Nutz? Like, yo, I know these guys right here.
He haven't reached out to me personally, but I'm aware. He know what's cracking. He see what's going on. He see us working for sure. Him and Glasses didn't have some conversations too as well. So he didn't acknowledge the presence for sure.
Now, this is like the last question I'm going to ask y'all. Well, I'll ask Glasses and I will cut to the intro now, too. So, Glasses, you have an extensive discography. I don't know how you put your mixtapes. I don't know if you label them as street albums, because you got songs like albums like The Electric Chair, White Lightning, Fuck Glasses Malone. So, how do you put your discography on stream and say, did you consider them as compilations? Do you consider them as street albums or official releases? That's one thing about you. This is your 12th album, you said. No, sorry, 11th album.
So I guess I do everything like they're projects. I treat every project the same. You know what I mean? Every body of work. White Lightning is an album. Electric Chair, even if I'm using somebody else's music, you could best believe my innate ability is storytelling. You know what I mean? That's my gift. So I put my foot in just about everything. You know what I mean? And as I put them on streaming services, I'm just doing it what I want to do anyway, because this is my coast. This is my game to do what I want to do. So I'm going to do it exactly how it needs to be done. And I'm going to make sure the story comes through at this point. You know what I mean? The story is going to be there. If I couldn't tell the story then because I didn't have the tools musically to, when I deliver it now, the story will be there.
So when you decided to put the Beach Cruiser up on there now too, like did you put both versions mixed together, or was it the very first version that we were supposed to hear? Because I know there's 3 versions to that album.
So the 2 versions specifically are the ones that came out, right? The 30th release and the one that came out in 2011. The version I made initially that Mac 10 didn't want me to put out was in 2008. That's called Beach Cruiser, the story, because the original Beach Cruiser was a story. That's my innate ability. That's my gift. So I made it a story. That's how we came to that place.
Oh, okay.
So there's really 2 versions, and then there's the 10-year anniversary that just came out of the 2011 version. But 2008, the story itself, it says 2008. Like shout out to Spotify, shout out to Apple for allowing me to chronicleize, what's the word? God damn it. Time period to get the correct time periods of when these releases were coming out or when they were supposed to come out. And I'm doing the same for the cripstore.com to where it's a physical version for every project, but it's all handled with care. Like everything I put extra into it to make sure it's presentable, you know what I mean? To convey the story correctly.
Now, with this album now too, like I said, this is the last one before I let you all go. You're a real one, Glasses Malone, for putting LA Giantz on this album with EP now too, because you could have put anyone on this album. You could have put The Game, you could have put Corrupt, you could have put like an old Nipsey verse, but you chose to put true talent that the world may never hear on a major platform like that. So, major salute for you for that, because you know what? You put me onto new artists, but you also put the world onto new artists now too. So you are accomplishing your goal of helping them reach a bigger platform. So salute to you. Y'all have any last word before I let you go?
Visit thecripstore.com and buy the album.
Don't worry, it's all in the link below, y'all. And it's on the screen.
Thecripstore.com. I ain't got to tell you to stream it because you're going to stream it anyway, but go spend some money with the people that made the album. Go DM EP and tell him to send you a copy. Go buy a physical version of it. You know what I mean?
You guys been in talks with vinyl companies about getting, because the vinyl company is huge. I'm surprised you get it.
Oh, we do. We got a vinyl. Yeah, we got a vinyl for it. I didn't even really want to do a vinyl, but I did something with this company called Even.biz, where you buy art from the artist, not the label.
They did that. I bought the Ransom album from them.
Yeah. So we did some stuff. So they did a vinyl. I'm going to be doing my next 4 or 5 releases with them. We're going to just have fun. But right now we're so locked in to making sure we do the best job possible by Cancel Deez Nutz, because it's such a dope body of work. And we got to keep working and just working on Joey and do stuff and working on the 110 stuff and just making sure we cock back and ready, but also we giving the proper attention to the stuff that we have available as well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely go buy the physical copies, man. Go to the cripstore.com, man, and break bread with the family, because that's real important. Stream it as well. And yeah, man. Definitely want y'all to continue to just bang this album as much as possible. Salute the Glasses for giving us a platform and putting us in the light that we ain't never been in before. Treating us like little brothers. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm just grateful. EP, we finally got an opportunity to work with EP, man, and now we about to work on the album with EP, and he go pretty much be executive producing that, him and Glasses. And man, I'm just happy, man. I always looked at this project like it was like, I knew it was a moment, like I felt like, oh, we arrived, man. Like I really knew, like, damn.
That's facts. That's big facts.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, we about to really be, like you said, he putting us on the singles. Like he wasn't just putting us on sleepers. He put us like on dope records. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just grateful. And I always tell him that all the time. I'll be like, thank you, man. Like, man, I always looked at this shit like, shit, nigga, like, this is it. Like, it's about to go down now. Like, we can't drop the ball after this.
I tell him all the time, don't thank me. We still got work to do. What Kobe said?
Yeah, like it's so much
job not over, job not finished
at all. and we understand how important it is to keep working. That's what we always talk about. Like, man, we got to keep working. We got to keep working. You know, put your head down, keep working, because as monumental as this moment is, man, there's so much more we got to do. It's so much more.
Yo, when y'all release your album of EP, y'all EP, Deuce, Joe, y'all come back on here, yo. We're talking some more shit now.
For sure. Like EP said, we locked in for life. Oh, man, all you got to do is hit us up. We here, bro.
Yeah, we locked in. And we are going to release an instrumental album for this album, too.
Ah.
God damn, exactly.
Yeah.
That's another thing. The instrumental album is going to be as good as the album.
Yo, I won't front on that now.
It's gonna be dope, man. Y'all gotta buy. It's funny because it's Ervin Pope's Cancel Deez Nutz. You feel me?
Right.
That's the cold part. That's so fire. Like, we just fucking the game up. I love it.
And y'all might get a live version. And y'all might get a live.
And we talk exactly. We talk. That's the deluxe, the live version. Like, we trying to chase James Brown live album. You feel me? Like, we try to do the live version.
Up for sure.
Because I know.
Yeah, don't forget. Yeah, Ervin Pope's Cancel Deez Nutz. The live. I mean, the instrumental album. It's fire. You feel me? Make sure you get a bar of that. That's gonna be funny. I'll be streaming that more than the actual word parts for me. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm such a fan of music at this point now. And like, I heard these instrumentals with no words, and that was my point to Joey and myself and Deuce. Like, yo, we can't fuck the music up. So it's gonna be dope to just jam the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited about that. And we are gonna do the live version. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. And maybe we'll make it like a Christmas special for people or something.
But EP, don't you have a band? Like, because I know about the furnace. So yo, maybe incorporate the furnace.
That's who's gonna do it. That's who's all over it. So we locked in.
Man, they sound just, man, they play this shit live, man. It's a whole different feeling, man. When I heard some of that shit live, I said, God, man, this shit is God right here, like magic. Like he say making records is magic, man. Because I love live music, man. Performing with a live band has always been one of my dreams. So when we did the video and they was playing that shit live, I was like, nigga, this shit really sound like the record, but even better. Like,
and if you guys think about it now too, y'all can do a tour off that, like the Cancel Deez Nutz live band tour.
We're about to do something right now. We planning it right now for late October to do it live. You know what I mean? It might be a 2-day event, and then we're gonna do the residency for the album for the concerts. Y'all gonna have to fly in for that, because I don't know if we planning to take it anywhere until next year, but we're gonna do it for sure for roughly 8 weekends straight. You know what I mean? Like the concert for this album, but we need to make sure y'all get the experience. So we have to kind of keep it limited for right now. But if you're gonna fly in, you know what I mean? It's gonna be worth flying. It's gonna be worth flying in for. It's gonna be something you ain't never in your life saw. It's gonna be an energy you ain't never felt. It's gonna be something that's really special. You know what I mean? For a concert, it ain't like I ain't just grabbing my dick on the stage. You feel me? You're gonna get a bar of this life.
Mm-hmm. So yo, this has been a monumental episode. Yo, like I said, I remember when I first started 5 years ago, I went on to, you know what, the Glass Malone? I went on to interview the DOC, MOP, speech from all these other legends. But yo, you were one of the very first people I reached out to in 2018. I was like, yo, G Malone, let me get that interview. But timing is everything. That's why I'm glad we waited till we could get Joey and EP on here now too. So yeah,
and just having something dope to talk about. Like, you know, me and Joey talk about it all the time, and you know, even my old lady says that, like, I don't be really worried about like just being popular. I need to have something that we can talk about. Like, other than that, shout out to my niggas, but I ain't with the gossip. I don't really want to gossip for free. I ain't the View. This ain't the View, cuz this is a Crip show. You know what I mean? So we're gonna make sure that we got something to talk about, and it's great to be up here with some other brothers. I never did this as many albums as I made. I never got a chance to sit with the people that I made the music with, and it's dope because me and E talk right now, and me and Joey talk right now, and you know they know I'm desperate, like I'm pushing. So I'm excited. I never looked at the first week. I don't care about what's going on the first day. I don't care about who hears it. I want to work for 90 days straight, and then I want to look up and I want to see what everybody got to say after that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we definitely be pushing. We're pushing now over here a lot. I don't know if you followed the podcast account, but yo, we're pushing that, and we telling people this is a top 5 release album this year now too. We ain't fucking around over here with this album.
I was saying that before it came out. I said, man, ain't nobody fucking with you, man.
I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to compete with Killer Mike. You know what I mean? Killer Mike say he got the album of the year. I want to compete with that. I want to compete with whoever think they the best.
I never really checked out. Sorry, Mike. I never checked out Michael, man. I've been all over this Cancel Deez Nutz. Pause.
It's worth it. It's that work. You know what I mean? I'm waiting on the text from Mike, like, okay, you got something to compete. So it's all love, man. We supposed to push each other. You know, we not backing down. Like E say, ain't nobody slacking. We ain't compromising. We're looking to keep building and going to the next level.
Sure.
So, EP and Joey, y'all have any last words or where they can find y'all at on social media before I let y'all go? Because I put G Malone. G Malone's in the subscription below with when he said the clip story. If y'all run back, you can see it on the screen. But yeah, any
right.
you guys?
Yeah, LA Giantz on all digital platforms, man. That's from music to social media. LA Giantz, the LA Giantz, Giants spelled with a Z. And you can find us and tap in with us. We respond back. Let us know what you think about the album, what you think about us, what you hate about it, all that. Give us all that energy. We welcome it all. You feel me? The LA Giantz everywhere.
Yeah, you can find me Instagram at EP Music. You can find me on Instagram at The Furnace, ENT. And you can even go to my website, irvinpope.com.
Okay, I'll make sure I add that in the description below. Now I put the links for the album below now too. And if y'all made it this far, man, I'm telling you, y'all need to go check this album out too. Front to back. Don't be skipping none of the tracks. Come back, yo, that was whack. Listen to it fully. Comment below. Yo, EP, Joey, Glasses. Yo, y'all have an amazing weekend, man. And y'all stay blessed, my brothers.
Hey, you too. Love.
We out. One love, guys.
Cancel Deez Nutz, nigga.
Yeah.